Coach Phipps, you have to be happy with how the Cougars performed at the Sun Dodger in Seattle. Talk a little bit about your men's team. You had told us right here that you were not going to have them go out and race to win, but oops, they did.
Yeah, and that was the great thing about it, to come out with the victory and run as well as we did, with it being a very controlled effort. And I think that was a little bit different than what we did last year. Last year, it was great that we won, but we were a little too aggressive, a little too early. Not just for that race, but I think a little too early in the season too. So we stuck with our game plan, very much a tempo type effort for the first 6K or so, and then we were put ourselves in a good position where we had an opportunity to win without putting out a Herculean effort. So I couldn't be happier about the way the guys performed.
Tell me a little bit about Michael Williams, runner-up to Isaac Yorks, who is an All-American runner. So tell me a little bit about Michael Williams.
Yeah, Michael's made a lot of improvement since last cross-country season, and I think the biggest difference for him this race was that he followed the game plan as well. He has a tendency to get a little excited a little early on in races, and so we were able to control that a little bit, and he just had a breakthrough race, and I expect great things to continue to come from him.
Charlie Linton, senior, running on a course that she knows pretty well, cut 21 seconds off her best time on that course.
Yeah, actually it was a little bit more. It was actually about 30 plus seconds.
Really? Oh,
I got corrected as well when I mentioned, I said the same thing to Charlie.
Okay.
And so I've got to make sure I get that right, or Charlie will let me hear it at practice tomorrow. But yeah, she just ran fantastically, executed very well, very controlled again at the beginning. And then for her to run under 21 minutes this early in the season bodes well for her.
Okay, so was a good weekend in Seattle on the 19th of September. So let's go back October 2nd. Friday, you're going to go over to Seattle and run in the Washington Invitational. Different course. This is Jefferson Park Golf Course. This will be the site of the regional championships. What do you like about this golf course?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One, it's nice being on the course that we're going to see in a few weeks at the regional meet. And it's all grass. It's a flat course, which may be a little bit different than what we're used to around here, but we're preparing for those types of courses. So this will be a good opportunity to see how well our preparations have been going against an amazing field, several top 25 teams in the nation. So it's going to be a good one.
So do you have your kids, again, run more of a paced race? Or are you telling him anybody that's in green and yellow, you can go ahead and pass them by again?
We'll take a little step forward. So it'll be a little combination. It'll be a little more aggressive than what we were at Sun Dodger, but still very controlled through the first part and progressing through the race. And again, looking at the end of the season a little bit more. This is our first countable meet and towards scoring points for nationals. But again, the next 3 meets are much more important for us.
Do you like where your freshmen are at this point in your season, where they have progressed for their own personal style and what you need them to be at to be competitive in the Pac-12?
Yeah, I couldn't be happier with the way they've been performing and the way the whole process. They've really bought into it. I've followed the leadership of John Whelan, who's been a great assistance in helping those guys along, but very dedicated, very mature for their age, and so I couldn't be happier. We're looking very good.
And on the women's side, a lot of freshmen there too. How are they progressing?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a mix. It's been a tough transition, I think, for some, just adapting to the increased volume and increased intensity. But we've had a couple of freshmen that have really been a nice surprise for us and have been running in our top 7.
I think a lot of people don't understand that men, usually distance runners, come into their own anywhere from 25 to 30. And women, 28 to 34 is when they hit their peak. So you're dealing with some pretty young people when you got 18-year-olds.
Oh yeah, and it's a huge difference between freshmen and seniors. And that transition, no matter how good you were in high school, it is a large jump up, especially on the men's side when they're used to 5K and all of a sudden 8K and then 10K is a huge transition. I think probably the most difficult in track and field and cross country is that men's bump up from 5K to 10K.
Well, you've had to have enjoyed the lovely fall weather that we've had, just warm as can be. Today's supposed to get close to 80 here in Pullman.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We've had some a little bit brisk in the morning when we first started, but it's shirtless for the guys by the end of the practice, and everybody's been loving that for sure.
Great. Well, good luck this weekend back in Seattle at the Washington Invitational Friday afternoon.
Thank you very much, and go Cougs.